Lewis Hamilton is getting cold feet about moving to Ferrari. After tasting victory once again in a Mercedes, the seven-time world champion has admitted to nerves getting to him regarding his future. But if you ask Helmut Marko, leaving the Silver Arrows was the right thing to do, because according to him, their recent wins are nothing more than fool's gold. All that and more in today's video, so stay tuned. Lewis Hamilton has acknowledged feeling somewhat daunted by the prospect of switching to Ferrari, though he welcomes the challenge ahead. The seven-time F1 world champion has been hesitant to delve too deeply into what lies ahead out of respect for his current team, Mercedes. Hamilton is fully committed to giving his all in his final season with Mercedes, a commitment that paid off at the British Grand Prix where he secured his first win in almost 3 years, showcasing the potential seen in recent races due to car upgrades. Speaking to Sky F1 ahead of that weekend, Hamilton discussed his upcoming switch in 2025 and admitted feeling a bit nervous about the change of environment. He has spent most of the last 2 decades with Mercedes power, both with his current team and during his stint at McLaren from his debut in 2007 until 2012. He told Martin Brundle, "It's going to be new. It's also daunting because it's new territory, it's a new experience and will be a challenge. But you know, I love challenge, I expect it to be massively different. I mean, the 2 teams I've been with have been British teams. So I'm going into a completely different culture in Italy. If you think about us Brits, we're very quiet and more calm when you have success. When you have difficult days, everyone's kind of more chilled out, whereas Italians are much more emotional. It's a much different culture. I don't truly know what to expect, but I have raced in Italy. So I expect it to be a huge amount different but special and unique in some ways." When asked if he feels he'll become an outsider as the team focuses on developing the 2025 car, a process Mercedes would prefer he isn't closely involved in as he transitions to Ferrari, Hamilton mentioned he hasn't yet been asked to step back. "I don't think so," he said. "I mean, so far I have been really hands-on and very much involved in the development of this car. I think that's the only way we can work this year. I've not kept anything from them, and they haven't kept anything from me. I want the team to succeed, even when I'm not here. I think with the success we've had just recently, I'm a part of that and I feel really grateful and proud to be a part of that." Toto Wolff is finally found happiness with the strides Mercedes has made this season, especially after the morale-boosting wins by George Russell and Lewis Hamilton in Austria and Silverstone. At the start of the 2024 season, the team set out to correct the mistakes of their challenging 2022 and 2023 campaigns. However, they once again found themselves trailing behind Red Bull, who have mastered the current ground effect era of F1. But a series of promising updates starting from the Monaco Grand Prix have pushed the Silver Arrows back into the mix. They've secured their first pole position, podium finishes, and most recently, victories of the year. At the Red Bull Ring, George Russell capitalised on a late clash between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris to seize the win. Meanwhile at Silverstone, the Mercedes duo dominated the front row of the grid, with Hamilton taking victory in unpredictable weather conditions. This means that over the last 4 race weekends, Mercedes has achieved 2 poles, 4 podiums, and 2 wins, bringing a wave of optimism to Wolff and the team as the season heads into its second half. With Mercedes having only 1 other win since the start of the 2022 season, Wolff said, "You could see that 5 races ago we weren't even contenders for the podium, which looked like the 3rd year of non-performance, and then it clicked. Suddenly everything that didn't make sense made sense, and the results of the development direction is like in the old days. We are finding performance, we are putting it on the car, and it translates into lap time. That wasn't the case for the last 2 years." While Wolff warned that Mercedes mustn't get carried away with their recent form, he did agree that the team is now clearly back in the mix. "Yeah, it does feel that way because in Austria we weren't far off," he said. "If you look at the gap we had before Verstappen and Norris crashed, it was nearly 2/10 a lap, a bit more. That's the closest we've been for a long time on a track that we didn't like so much in the past. That kind of gave us hints that it could be getting much better. Honestly, we didn't think it would be Silverstone, because more stuff we were putting on the car, we were more expecting Budapest or Spa, but we justified that what we do is right at the moment." Building on his "then it clicked" comment, Wolff identified the moment when he believes Mercedes made a breakthrough in their development direction after nearly 2.5 seasons of struggles. This turning point came after the experienced James Allison returned to the role of technical director midway through last season, swapping places with Mike Elliott, who has since left his position as chief technical officer. While talking about the confusion going on at the Mercedes garage in recent months, Toto said, "There was a moment where, led by James, suddenly the data made sense, and the gap. Mainly the way we balanced the car and how we could bring it in a better sweet spot. I think that was the main thing. It wasn't a miracle front wing introduced in Monaco, it is more the balance that we achieved." Lewis Hamilton is currently enjoying the high of his recent British GP win. The 39-year-old broke a 2.5-year losing streak by finally stepping onto the top podium at his home race. Although he didn't secure pole position during the Silverstone quali, he skillfully overtook his heavyweight opponents, defended against the charging McLaren of Lando Norris, and avoided any on-track incidents to secure a clean win in Britain. With this victory, Hamilton has made history with an impressive 9 race wins at his home circuit. However, Helmut Marko remains unconvinced that Mercedes is delivering their best, even after Hamilton's resounding victory. Red Bull chief advisor Helmut Marko watched as Max Verstappen failed to secure a win in the rainy conditions at the British GP, where Hamilton triumphed. Over the weekend in his home country, the Stevenage native performed exceptionally well. Despite not clinching pole position, Hamilton confidently asserted his faith in the Mercedes W15. In the main race, he soared to victory in his Silver Arrows, while the drivers from reigning world champion team Red Bull fell short. Mercedes' consistent top-rank finishes in the last few Grand Prix have raised some eyebrows. Speculators now believe the Stuttgart-based team might currently have the fastest car on the grid. When asked about this, Helmut Marko told OE24, "They have taken a step forward, but that doesn't mean they have the fastest car yet." Silverstone, with its cool temperatures, was good for Mercedes. For Toto, finding a driver to replace the departing Lewis Hamilton is crucial. Verstappen is his top choice, which is why the Mercedes team boss is not dismissing the possibility of signing him. Throughout the remainder of the season, Mercedes' primary focus will be on enhancing their development to establish themselves as the outright fastest team on the track. Should they achieve this goal, Wolff's chances of securing Verstappen would shoot up. On this topic, Marko made a worrying admission if you're a Red Bull fan. He said, "We're having a hard time at the moment. We don't have the fastest car at the moment, but we have Max, and that makes the difference. The McLaren is fast everywhere, in all conditions, and now it looks like Mercedes has caught up. We are used to controlling the front of the field. We have problems. With this setup, it takes too long to find the right balance. Fortunately, we were still able to extend Max's lead in the World Championship and are also leading in the Constructors' Championship." Toto Wolff has continued to heap praise on one of the drivers being considered to fill Lewis Hamilton's soon-to-be vacant seat. Already part of the Mercedes junior team, Andrea Kimi Antonelli has caught the eye with his strong performances in F2. The Italian showcased his undeniable potential at the recent British Grand Prix, securing a commanding victory in Saturday's sprint race, marking his first win in the series. Wolff believes Antonelli's impressive victory in the rain at Silverstone could be a turning point for the young driver and is excited about his continued improvement as he pursues a future seat in F1. "It was an important victory. I would say a turning point for him," Toto said. "He literally dominated, and he's not even 18 years old. He was a second faster than the others, and he was always in control until that last